we're all learning from the stories here and there. It's a story mohbad ni o. It's a story àwọn èèyàn ni o. Everything we should all be learning from it. Ẹ̀mà tó máa ń sọ gbà ń pé orí níwọ̀n kéèyàn ṣoore ṣe náà. So ìsí gbogbo ẹ̀ náà sì so mọ́ra wọn náà ni. Because téèyàn bá máa ṣoore, kéèyàn wo ibi tó máa ṣe sí o. Most of the time, oore téèyàn bá ṣe in this life, nígbà téèyàn ṣoore fọ́mọ ẹyẹ ni o. Èèyàn ń dúró pé bóyá ọmọ ẹyẹ máa sanjọ́ o. At the end of the day, ọmọ ẹyẹ lè dàgbà kó fò lọ. And you never get any thank you or anything back. So, kama dìyẹn because
Ore níwọ̀n. Ore
yes,
níwọ̀n.
only one. A lot of things happen in the background that if most of them gets to the public, well, Lily, I need to quickly go for like 10 minutes. I'll be padà wá sọ̀rọ̀ orí níwọ̀n later. Let's talk about justice. Justice has been done for the past how many months now? Going to 2 years. So, first thing is that most of us we came out when this boy died. That's mohbad. Not because we thought somebody got a gun and went to his house to kill him or something. We wanted justice because we saw videos of how he was bullied, of how he was harassed. We saw it. The boy himself, the guy himself, that's mohbad himself, he documented his struggles. He raised alarm about the ongoing harassment. Yes, we didn't pay attention to him there. More like everybody went about their business. Oh, that's your own headache. And your boys here in them okote tiraisi, and you let mokote man for what I fa. Ta ló mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin wọn. Nobody paid him serious attention. The guy cried out about what he was facing in the hands of these people. And because of that, when we now, in retrospect, after his death, that was one of those things that now gingered most of us. More like it's out of guilt, like, oh, but boy, they sort of, we didn't do anything there. More like out of guilt, like guilty conscience, like, we didn't do anything. I think we should do something now. Most of us came out, most people came out there. Rallies were held, different protests was conducted. Then we came to this issue of corona inquest and all that. Everything became slow at a point. Some people came in with their different method. They tried to hijack the justice. Different narratives started coming up. Even till today, till now, we are still seeing different. Any day you wake up, except you don't walk on the street of TikTok, you will hear one narrative here or there. So more like it's not about justice for mohbad anymore. We can safely say it's all about manipulation of truth now. All about harassment of the widow. It's more like the institution has failed one way or the other to deliver justice. Because when they are silent too, it means they are complicit in all these things. Because when you see oppression, when you see injustice, and you see the authorities being quiet or just going about their own business, like it's any regular day, it means one way or the other, they are complicit in this. Okay, let's talk about the foundation of this case. What do we know? It's not like mohbad was silent, even in the face of this bullying and harassment. No, Kodake, he cried out. It documented it, in fact, about all this fear, the abuses, call it paranoia. Everything, it documented it. And we know the names he mentioned. We can still remember these names are still ringing in our head till today. He mentioned Sam Larry. He mentioned Naira Marley. And he mentioned the boys, the Naira Marley boys. He mentioned these names. He did a petition. He mentioned names there too. So it was not like, oh, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know who his attackers were. Oh, Momo, oh, they mentioned one. But what happened? The same culture of intimidation. That took over. The same form of violence in the music industry. After all these things, even after mentioning these people's name, after that, he was still publicly harassed multiple times. We saw the way he was chased off should we call that a stage, or where they were trying to shoot video. We saw the way he was in panic, the way he ran for his life. The arrival of Sam Larry, we saw it. The video is still out there. We saw the way he cried out in the video saying his phone had been seized. And he mentioned name at the Chandelier's nightclub there. We saw the live videos he was showing. He was showing himself that, see what they did to me. See all my body. He was crying like a baby. So all these videos, and go back to the police reports. They are preliminary reports. They said they have credible witness testimonies, evidences to confirm that Mohbad was harassed. He was attacked, he was bullied, he was cyberbullied by Sam Larry and Naira Marley. There's no greater indictment than that. That's coming from the authority. That's coming from the Nigerian police. Up to today, there has been no statement from them to unseat their initial statement. There's been no statement to vacate that particular one. So what we still have on file today, in terms of bullying and harassment of Mohbad, is that Naira Marley and Sam Larry, they are heavily involved. They said they have enough evidence to tie the harassment, the bullying, the assault, the cyberbullying to these guys. What has been done? Nothing, no results. There's been no meaningful arrest. Yes, they were arrested initially, but then that was on the suspicion of them having something to do with his death. Eventually, they investigated, and up to now, their investigation has not confirmed that, oh, these people actually did something regarding his death. But that is still not the main issue that brought Nigerians out. That is still not the main issue. We know what brought us out. But what do we have today? Nothing. Normally, in a functioning system where things are working, maybe even working 20%, let's not even talk about working 100%. In a setting, in an environment, in a culture where things are working, at least 20% capacity, somebody like Sam Larry would have been brought in for serious questioning, bordering around the harassment and bullying of Mohbad while he was alive. But what do we have in Nigeria? Nothing. What do we get? We see these people going on media tours. We see them trying to deny what they can deny, undeniable. We see them trying to deny it, trying to rewrite history. That is what is obtainable in a country like Nigeria. They want to present themselves like, oh, come on, money. I think Sam Larry was misunderstood. Kò dẹ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o. We had it from Joseph Aloba first. Irọ́ kò dẹ̀ wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọkọ̀ kan lọ́gbọ́n ni. Kò ṣe pé bóyá orí lè ṣe anything fún un. They were just trying to teach him. Ẹ dẹ̀ gbọ́ wèrè ti bí yẹn náà. Lizzy tó ní àwọn kan mẹ́gbàá dání ni. Ṣé dáàdì àti mọ́mí ẹ̀ náà kì í nà ni? Àbí mohbad náà ò nàyàn ni? Look at the way they're trying to make it look like the new normal. Like how normal kan mẹ́gbàá dání kan na mohbad is kò ń ṣe nǹkan, it's not a big deal. We see crime as something that's really nothing. We find it normal, we find it acceptable because we have not been a victim of it. Because we have not walked in that shoe. It looks like well, it's not a big deal. Ọ̀nà ni ọkọ̀ ọlọ́gbọ́n ni kí lóun náà ṣe yájú sí wọn. Ó bẹ́ sí wọn ni, ó gbé gẹ̀ẹ́sì, ó dẹ̀ lápá. Is that the kind of thing we should be talking about? Is that the kind of setting we want to have? So this kind of thing, now seeing somebody like Sam Larry sitting down trying to rewrite history, it's not just offensive. You see that this kind of attitude is dangerous for any community that wants to grow. Any community that still wants their young ones to be leaders of tomorrow. It is a dangerous trend. People that should be facing serious time in jail, you see them walking about trying to deny something that's obvious. Is it the videos we have out there that they will suddenly erase now? Did we not see the video? That the people yẹn ṣe jump up kúrò lórí chair tó jókòó sí nígbà tí yóò wọlé síbẹ̀. Ẹ wá sọ pé ó mẹ́gbàá dání ni, bóyá máa mẹ́gbàá dání nìyẹn. Ẹgbàá jẹ́ bí nǹkan tó bímọ. I think gbogbo bóyá disrupt the life of Mohbad. We saw it. And somebody like that, we still have the audacity to come out and try to gaslight everybody. Because it's not just àwọn supporter Wunmi. No. Even those ones saying they are fighting for Mohbad, those ones saying they are fighting for Joseph Aloba, there bá ní any little thing in brain yín, this should be it should be offensive to you. Being somebody like Sam Larry coming out to say, àwọn kìíní yẹn ò ṣẹlẹ̀, and trying to redirect, trying to change the narrative, trying to make people look somewhere else. Ó jẹ òun lówó ni, kìíní kan ni. Is that the question we're asking? Is that the kind of question tó yẹ kí dirty boy yẹn béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀? But then, ṣé lè blame wọn ni? No. He's there to launder their image for them. He's there to wash their image for them. He's been paid to do that. He cannot deny it. He's been paid and he's also paying other people also. Gbogbo yàtọ̀ sí Sam Larry tó jẹ́ bóyá bíi paymaster in this setting now. Every other person tó lóun ti interview láti jọjọ́, we can see that it's either they are coming out to with some vendetta or they are being paid. Eléyìí ò níṣẹ́, wọn ò ríṣẹ́ gbé fún mọ́, òun set ẹ̀ up pẹ̀lú kinní kan, òun fẹ́ lè ní kankan, adẹ̀rí tó wá náà tó jẹ́ pé nítorí pọ́ lu òun ní bóyá 3 or 5 years ago, pé bóyá òun gossip àbí bóyá nítorí ẹ̀ concept òun up ló ṣe bọ́ síta wá sọ̀rọ̀. But that's by the side. I'm just more annoyed that somebody like Sam Larry can stroll around trying to say, kíní yóò ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ àwọn wo. So it's more like if you, Emo, there are some things where you just sit down, you look at it and I call them, did I just watch this video now? Did I just hear this guy say, Bokini Yoshele? It's an insult to our collective intelligence here. So it's more like rubbishing everything this boy went through in his life. during his lifetime. Gbogbo trauma, all the psychological, emotional trauma he went through, it's more like undermining it, rubbishing it, saying it's nothing. Look at the way they started building the narrative. Sam Larry coming to say, nothing happened. I didn't do anything to him. Bóyá torí ó ń jẹ mí lówó, nǹkan tó yẹ mo tó ń sàkírílẹ̀ nìyẹn. Then you have people, you have other actors coming in, trying to paint him in bad lights. Eventually, we saw they had to show their hand that what they wanted to do is just to destroy Mohbad's legacy, destroy his memory, call him a junkie, call him an aggressor, call him somebody who has anger issue. In fact, call him mad. So that at the end of the day, you can sum everything up and say, gbogbo fídíò tó ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ yẹn, nǹkan ń ṣe lórí ni. Kò mọ nǹkan tó ń sọ. Kò mọ nǹkan tó ń sọ, but ó lè pinpoint orúkọ àwọn tó ń ṣe nǹkan fún. Táwa sọ pé kò mọ nǹkan tó sọ, people were with him there. So gba àwọn tó tẹ̀lé lọ pé ẹjẹ́ àjọ lọ jà, ẹjẹ́ àjọ lọ síbi báyìí báyìí yẹn. Àwọn yẹn náà rí tiwọn náà pé. Admit pé bóyá orí Mohbad ò pé ńgbà yẹn o. Àwọn tó sọ fún pé ó ṣe nǹkan báyìí fún ẹ tó bá rékọ̀dì ẹ̀ àbí tó sọ pé yá kọ́ níṣòro bí àbọ̀ fẹ́ lọ bá jà ẹ́. Gbogbo àwọn yẹn náà, gbogbo wọn jọ wà mad at the same time ni, right? So for Sam Larry, you were free. For him to still be free and engaging with media, going to, in fact, posting on TikTok or posting anywhere, still showing his face around, is an insult. It shows that there's no protection. The only protection you have is when you have power. The authorities will only protect those who are powerful. If you're not powerful, if you don't have money, if you don't have influence in that country, there is no protection for you. Nothing for you. Now let's move to this very dirty boy. He wants to call himself the voice of the people or whatever name he wants to call himself. We can see him clearly now. All he wants to do is to suppress the truth. Because we know what the truths are. One of it is that Sam Larry, Onomoyi, Naira Marley, you were complicit in the bullying of this boy. And bóyá English yẹn ló ń dà wọ́n láàmú ni. Bullying does not stop or does not even start with physical assaults. Ordinary pé fóònù ẹ̀tẹ̀ sí tó dẹ̀ dárúkọ ẹ̀ méjèèjì nínú bẹ́ẹ̀. That is bullying on its own. So bóyá èèbó yẹn ni ó ń confuse wọn. Ọmọ òbúlẹ̀ no ó bully ẹ̀ náà ó bully ẹ̀. Adébẹ̀yẹ nà tí gbogbo ara ẹ̀ wound now. Sort ni on its own. Ó mention pé ẹgbẹ́ fóònù ẹ̀ seize fóònù òun. Bullying nìyẹn on its own. Adébóyè jump bóyè fòdìdé lórí shoot tó lọ ṣe because you came there uninvited. And Adébóyè sọ̀rọ̀ bóyè wọlé pé lérò lè lọ lẹ́ni. Ẹ ti make gbogbo plan pé lẹ́ni sẹ́ ẹ máa treat fọkàn pé we had you. So tell me, báwo lè máa sọ pé kò bully ẹ̀? So now tell me, you are not telling me now that VDM is not trying to suppress the truth. That is what he's trying to do. Òun fẹ́ wá truth, òun fẹ́ start the case again. No. You're only trying to work for your paymasters, VDM. That is what you've been trying to do from day one. Instead of you asking, let's say, you now decide that you want to have interviews with these people. Critical questions you cannot even ask them. All you want to dwell on is flimsy things that are irrelevant. Say the wife too, they do something. What has that got to do with what we're talking about? Not bully ọmọ. Kí ni yẹn ní ṣe pẹ̀lú bóyá wife ẹ̀ smoke nǹkan, àbò eat nǹkan, àbò fa nǹkan kan, àbò drink anything? because that doesn't even deserve any response at all, or anybody trying to join issues with you on that one. Whatever tó bá ń kíyàwó ẹ̀ mú, whatever tó bá ń kó fà, whatever tó bá ń kó jẹ, she is not she's not the one under fire here. Àwọn tí ọmọ ìyá identify kó bully òun lélẹ̀, a dẹ̀ rí through video evidence, through petition. What more ló yẹ kí Mohbad ṣe láti point you out to the direction, even from his death? He wrote a petition while he was alive. He made a video documentation of most of these events while he was alive. More like Mohbad is speaking from the grave. Now you want to suppress that voice. The voice of that boy from the grave, you want to suppress it. That no, it will not be heard. No, we will not hear you video. You cannot suppress this truth because it is clear. Even the authorities admitted to it. Pàwọn ní enough evidence, enough witness testimonies. But then the question all of us should be asking is that, why are the police? Why are they still sitting on their hand? Why have they not done anything about this? If they have all this evidence, what are they doing what are they doing with it? You interviewed Sam Larry, you interviewed Prime Boy. You looked for those who, in one way or the other, might have contributed to the bullying of this boy at one point or the other. I want to interview you. So tell me, how are you not suppressing the truth of VDM? Questions you were asking is about questions that we put Mohbad in bad lights. Oh, is he taking laughing gas? Is he taking this one? Does he drink? Tell me. How are you trying to connect all these things? You just want to throw different information, different narrative out there so that people can now start picking whichever one they want and start debating about it, and we can forget about Naira Marley and Sam Larry. This, your diversionary tactics, is not going to work. Yes, maybe it will work for 2 days, for 3 days. But I tell you, after that, we'll still come back to this issue. Because after we have explored all these options, we will still come back to the core facts, which is the videos he made, which is the petition he wrote, that these people bullied me. These people assaulted me. We'll come back to it because, yes, we'll talk about the drinking. Mohbad, every drink, tani, cooking drink, dada, bad drink, komanja. And at the end of the day, we'll come back to it. Ìgbà yẹn tó wá jà ọ́, ṣóun ló wá ṣera ẹ̀ léṣe, ó bára ìjà, tó fara ẹ̀ láṣọ ya, tó ṣera ẹ̀ léṣe lẹ́yìn níwájú bá ẹ rí yẹn. Ó jàjà yẹn tán, bára ìjà yẹn tán, ó sá dìde ní orí ṣúùtù tó ń ṣe àbí. Because we'll come back to it. Ó fa gbá, ó fa igbá, ó fa àwo. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó fà yẹn tán ló sá dìde lórí chair ṣúùtù yẹn. Nǹkan tẹnu náà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ lọ́pọlọ ló mú tó fò dìde lọ́jọ́ tó lọ àtáàkì ẹ̀ ní ibi tó ti ń ṣe shoot pẹ̀lú Zlatan. Nǹkan tó mú lórí yẹn ló jẹ́ kó sáré fò dìde lọ́jọ́ yẹn, right? Because when you're throwing this information out there, all you're trying to do is to discredit Mohbad, even in the grave. You should be shameful. You should be ashamed of yourself. They say they don't talk ill of the dead. You guys don't care. As long as he's going to put food on your table, you will say whatever you want about him. Tell me, why are you fighting for justice for him? Let's say you even refuse to honor his legacy. You don't want to see his wife. You don't want to see his son. Òun kọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ ń jà fún, òun lẹ tún fẹ́ kọjú sí báyìí. You want to paint him as a mad person, right? You don't care anything that will get your people off the hook. Anything that will make them stop calling Naira Marley, stop calling Sam Larry. Anything at all, you don't care. You throw anybody under the bus, even the dead. you throw him under the bus. Well done. You're suggesting different kind of narratives. Or maybe the widow is complicit in it. Maybe you can even talk back by lying, you would even have said, oh, Boya Mohbad lo para ẹ̀. If the narrative was somehow suitable for you guys could even ẹ kú lè sọ pé bóyá ṣe ló commit kinní fúnra ẹ̀ gan pàápàá. You guys would have pushed that narrative. So what you're just doing is just rolling out content. That's the best. That's the to put it in the best form. You're just doing content. That's what you're doing. You're not doing justice. You're not serving any justice. You're not looking for any justice. You're just doing content to put money in your pocket to make sure you carry out your part of the contract you signed with your paymasters. The other day, you were trying to paint a narrative of Okulojo on the 11th by showing just a normal WhatsApp chat between Prime Boy and Omoumi. Yeah, because of that one, I can tell you now, something happened on that 11th. That 11th, Gogoloku. And you, so professional investigator, you didn't investigate to find out that there was a text between the Gebani and the nurse on the 12th when the nurse was coming and when they sent the nurse the picture and all that. You didn't wait to call the nurse to confirm from the nurse, did you treat somebody? Is this person you treated on the 12th? Or they investigate lójú ara ẹnìyẹn. But then you could rush to conclusion based on one WhatsApp chat. That means saying your wife knows something since that 11. You sound so stupid. Mo ń bú ẹ, mo dẹ̀ ń rẹ́rìn-ín, though inú ń bí mi gan, but still, ẹ̀rín ló kàn ń bọ́ sí pé, no level of the stupidity ta in the country lélẹ̀. Àwọn kan dẹ̀ máa jókòó ti kínní, wọ́n á dẹ̀ wá VDM ló fẹ́ fáwọn ní truth, VDM ló fẹ́ fáwọn anyway tó bá tiẹ̀ lè jókòó ti arìndìyàn ní Fábíyì. Wọ́n á jókòó ti VDM náà now, so what are we talking about? All you want to do is just create distraction. You started with kọ́ lọ ṣe BNA. I don't know if the video Timothy Erilano Abijeta, I don't know if it's recent or bóyá ara àwọn old video ẹni. Timothy video tó tún compare ọmọ ẹ pẹ̀lú spending or something there. So look at this low life practice. You were even still honorable when you were still selling your pennies for the highest bidder. I would even still say, okay, ó ṣì ń hustle ni. I would even, Matthew, fojú ẹgbẹ́ kan wẹ̀ acknowledge you when you were still doing that. But look at what you have turned to now. Look at you. I think people will still respect you. Tó bá padà láti lọ máa ta oko ẹ jẹun. That's still fine. Ozu nìkan tó nílò lò. Not desecrating the dead. Not trying to destroy his memory. Trying to destroy his legacy. Shame on you, very dark boy. You are now interviewing people that cannot even get their story straight. People like Prime Boy. Prime Boy, anytime there's a weather change, the story of Prime Boy will change. We were here when that one started. Ọ̀rẹ́ òun ni àwọn kọ̀ ra jọjà ni. Nígbà tá a tún máa gbọ́ tí wèrè ara ẹ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀, irọ́ òun ló kàn ń gbá òun lẹ́sẹ̀ o. Nígbà tó máa sọ̀rọ̀, ó tiẹ̀ níjà kankan ò sí. Òun àtọ̀rẹ́ òun ò kàn jà, ó kàn déédéé bínú ni o. Lòun dẹ̀ lọ sọ́dọ̀ kí ló ti ń pè chief priest. Òun ò rí pé ní gíláàsì bírèkì. Look at that. Arojú korojú. Look at these people. Ẹ máa wo gbogbo collection àwọn people ìpapọ̀. Wọ́n tó wá interview nìyẹn. You cannot even ask them hardball question there pé báwo lè máa sọ pé ó rí pé gíláàsì bírèkì níbẹ̀ yẹn kó tó kúrò. Ọkọ̀ èdè kúrò tọ́rẹ́ rẹ̀ kàn ń para, ọmọkan tó dé tó ń para, ó dẹ̀ dìde ọkọ̀ dédé kúrò, ó lọ fẹjọ́ sùn yàn kan pé ẹ̀kọ́ wá wọ̀ rẹ̀ tó ń bínú tí kan ṣe lórí. But ibẹ̀ ilẹ̀ ti ń to narrative yẹn náà bọ̀. narrative pé ó kàn máa dédé dìde inú akọ̀dédé máa bí orí akọ̀dédé wú bí Ṣàngó ẹ̀gbọ́n akọ̀dédé gùn pé sẹ́ẹ̀ ó máa dàbí irú without anything nǹkan kan ò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ he will just start getting angry he will just start calling people's name without any provocation without any attack that is the narrative tẹ́ fẹ́ sell láti lè get Naira Marley and Sam Larry off the hook but you did a very poor job of it. So tell me, how can we trust narrative from people like you? My own is that even if you're trying to sway, if you're trying to change the direction of something, come up with something convincing. Come up with a story that can stand the test of 1 month. Ẹ sọ pé ọmọ mi ló ṣe gbá kan. At least our story is standing the test now. It's going to almost 2 years. She's still consistent in her story. Come up with such a story that can stand the test of time. Come up with that kind of story. So it's very hard for me not to talk. I've been trying to say, you know what, let me stay away from these things. Let's see how it goes. Because at the end of the day, all we are doing now is just entertaining ourselves and just killing some boredom. Because kò sí analysis tá a fẹ́ kò sí nǹkan tá a fẹ́ analyze mọ́ kò sọ̀rọ̀ tá a fẹ́ sọ mọ́ tí àìtí ìfìgbà kan sọ rí. And the next thing you brought Dominica. That's like your masterpiece. Ìyẹn paint ẹ ní gbogbo picture tó fẹ́. That one helped you try to drive your message home. Mohbad and Omomi, they were junkies, right? Is that not what you're trying to claim? Like it's possible all the event that happened, they made it up in their heads somehow. Either they lied, either they were under the influence, or they're just outrightly mad. That's the narrative you're trying to paint. Truth fighter, VDM, Abi. Defender of bullies. Defender of Sam Larry's. That's what you're trying to paint now. Abi. Mohbad was a victim of bullying. And what has it now turned into? He's now even a victim of slander. Because now you're now saying different things to his name. Things that he cannot even defend anymore. Things that he's not even here to defend his name. And just by the way, mo gbọ́ pé ẹ̀yin kan wá pera yín ní Mohbad kinní kan àbí immobilization kinní kan. You cannot fight this kind of things. You cannot defend this kind of things. Nǹkan tí ó kàn yín lẹ̀ ń dá sí, you just want to make names suddenly láàrin ọ̀sán kan òru kan. You just want to drive traffic. Ẹni tẹ́ sọ pé ó jẹ́ bí kí ló máa pe master àbí lẹ́yìn bá ní disciple ní. Ẹni tẹ́ jẹ́ bí master yín, people are out there slandering his name. You cannot even put out 1 or 2 words to defend him. You cannot say anything in his defense. Ìjà tí ò kàn yín tí ò ra yín pátá lẹ̀ ń dúró tì lẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ jà. Kẹ́yìn jẹ́ good disciple báyìí. Ẹ̀yin ò ṣe disciple o, ẹ wo orúkọ mi fúnra yín. So because now that's what they're doing now. Ó ti kú náà ẹ lè búlì ẹ̀ mọ́. Now the next thing tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe ni pé kẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bà lórúkọ jẹ́. Pébi tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ bà lórúkọ jẹ́ dé sá o. Bóyá á dìde nínú grave, á wá defend ara ẹ̀. We saw him. He was bullied. Period. There's no. We don't need to sugarcoat it. We don't need to. I need láti paint it anyhow. He was outrightly bullied. He cried out. He named names. He made videos. He was begging for help. Yes, we didn't help him. We're all somehow guilty of that as a society, collectively. This is happening in our community, in our society, in Nigeria, every now and then. We ignore it because it's not considered just a quiet. We just waka pass. Ó pariwo, only they took my phone. Sam Larry and Naira Marley and their boys. Only they took my phone. Only they are chasing me. They want to kill me. I am not safe. Kí lẹ tún fẹ́ kó sọ? Tẹ̀sí máa sọ pé wọn ò bully ẹ̀. Tell me. A rí fídíò yẹn náà, a rójú ẹ̀. We saw the fear in his face. It was not like he was crazy. He wasn't high. He was just harassed. He was broken. He was broken by people to lágbára jùlọ. That is how he feels. You might mistake it for highness. You might mistake it for craziness. No, it's just when you're broken, when you're fighting a system that is more powerful than you, when you're being oppressed, and there's really nothing you can do about it. That's how you feel. It feels like, oh, kò mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe, ó dà ń pórí bọ̀bọ́ yẹn ti dàrú. That's what it feels. If you've not been broken before, if you've not been oppressed before, you cannot know how it feels. You cannot feel that boy's shoe. O lè má understand. O lè understand yẹ. Now tó ti wá lọ, kí là ń ṣe? Àwọn tó bully ẹ̀, they are doing interviews here and there. On ṣe oríṣiríṣi lẹ́yìn, on scheme lẹ́yìn. They are planning, trying to silence people here and there. People who they feel like, oh, these people's voice are one of the loudest or strong supporters, trying to see that they are brought to book. They are going through the back door, trying to silence them. Thank God, Yabojo also Rosita. I've been saying it for a while now that she needs to voice out. That's the only time people can amplify her voice. That is what these people want. They want to take you to the corner. They unfair pile. That is, they are stuck in trade. They've been doing this for a while now. They are like masters in it. Láti ṣe gbogbo àwọn underground deal yìí. Master ni wọ́n know ẹ̀. Wọ́n á ti máa to gbogbo iṣẹ́ ẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Wọ́n á ti mọ gbogbo step yẹn, ó yá ẹ̀kọ́ pélé sí Abuja. Bọ́yẹ̀ pélé sí Abuja, ó yá wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ interview. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bà lórúkọ jẹ́ lọ. Ó yá tàbá lè force eléyìí láti sọ eléyìí. Since táwọn eléyìí ò lè support ẹ̀, tí wọ́n lè stand in solidarity pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, then maybe we can achieve our aim and we can come back and bask in our glory. This is what they written the script a while back. Ṣebí ẹ lóye máa lè múrú Sam Larry yẹn tó lè ṣe interview. I'm sure pé bóyá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ yẹn tí wọ́n jọ ríra ní station tán ló gba interview lọ ṣe. Ìwọ gangan ni fear tí Mohbad ń sá fún Sam Larry. We saw it physically, kò ń ṣe pé bóyá à ń try láti ṣàsọdùn. No. You were the fear. You came and the boy jumped up from the seat. So, kí ló wá ń sọ? Kí ló ń sọ? Ẹ wá ń gbé oríṣiríṣi narrative jáde. My own is that people we need to be focused. Yes, we are hearing that the coroner's report will be out today for people in Nigeria. Yes. We expect some names will be indicted. Yes, maybe the nurse, maybe spending. But then what's it called? The reports, the ending of the coroner's inquest is not the end of justice for Mohbad. It's more like the beginning. If pending is indicted, so be it. Not indicted, so be it. But it is only the beginning. Because the real fire we must go back to the roots of all this. Sam Larry and all the bullies. That is when we would, if we can bring these people to book, if they can explain, like seriously explain their part in all this. Boya they were guilty, boya system they were down was still. That is when we can now know that, yes, we embarked on a crusade for justice for this guy. And we saw it to a logical conclusion. Because the whole case, it began with this boy being chased. Everything started with when he was being attacked, when he was being threatened. Case yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ nígbà tó ń pé pẹ̀lú kú ẹ̀ náà. It started when he was being chased, attacked and threatened. Nǹkan tó spark gbogbo protest yẹn gbà yẹn nìyẹn. That is why Nigerians cried out. So after the reports, people who truly want justice for Mohbad against these bullies, they must go back to that fight. Questions we have to ask the police also. Níbo ni case file Sam Larry wà lórí gbogbo bullying tẹ̀sọ̀pẹ̀ ní evidence ni? Why has Naira Marley not been prosecuted on this bullying case? Yes, let him have his day in court. Let him go there to clear himself. As far as we know, through the evidence we've seen on social media and through what the police said themselves, Naira Marley has a case to answer. Sam Larry has a case to answer. Why have they not been prosecuted? Why are all these bullying, all these videos being ignored by the authorities? So whether the report comes out tomorrow or not, whether the people we know will be indicted are indicted or not, we still need to ask these questions. We still need to redirect back. Yes, VDM tried his best to cast doubt on everything, to make it look like, oh, Bubukini is just you can't connect them together. Yeah, he tried his best here, but no, he didn't do a good job. We still remember because we still have brain. We still know what brought us out. Even the people on the other side supporting Joseph Aloba or saying they are neutral supporting Mohbad, if they still search their conscience, they will still remember what brought them out. Kò ṣe bàbá tó sọmọ nù ló bring wọn out. No. The undue punishment tó fún ọmọ yìí. Tábà tí a sọ pé ó jẹ́ lówó èlò ló jẹ́ tó tó gbogbo ìfòró ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ yìí. That is what brought most people out. And these people on this side knew, on that side knew, guys, you need to get your priorities right again. You need to get it right. You cannot, at this point, we know if for the past 2 years, the bá lè gbé widow àtọmọ ẹ̀ jáde láti drag wọn this way, and nothing is being done. Àti ẹ̀ lè sọ pé we know the role of Joseph Aloba in all these things. He was the one who, yes, we know Darkman and some people, they raise this issue, but coming from him, it was something else. Having to raise issue about this DNA, that's Joseph Aloba. It betrayed everything. He left that region where you say somebody is a father. Lè pè ní father mọ́. If you can betray your son in death, bẹ́ẹ̀ Joseph Aloba will throw anybody sẹ́nu lion without batting an eyelid. But then he asked for this DNA he was obliged. Omowumi has been ready for this DNA since 2023. What has Joseph Aloba been doing? He has been playing delay tactics here and there. Was he last week or so? I tried to get another letter trying to change the agreement, vary the agreement on the consent judgment. Just another form of delay tactics, saying, yeah, I fẹ́ lọ ṣe DNA ẹ labroad ni. DNA wo ló ń ṣe Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀ náà anyway. So you see that he just wants to continue playing for time and getting money again. So, and you cannot see him come out to question this Sam Larry, to question this Naira Marley, or to tell Very Dark Man to shut up. Imagine him coming out together with Mohbad and yes, maybe Omowumi, him leading the charge, telling somebody like that very dirty boy that he should shut up and not desecrate his boy's memory. Tell me who will not join him? But can he do that? Ó ti jẹ́ dòdò, báwo ló fẹ́ sọ òdodo? No way. He has lost it even from the very beginning. Kì í ṣe màmá tó jẹ́ pé agídí ni wọ́n fi tì wọ́n bọ́ síta láti wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Sam Larry ní ọmọ mi. Ṣé pé nínú ẹ̀ náà èébú tí ò kàn yín lẹ̀ ń bú kiri lẹ̀? Is that who we stand up for? Is that who the public will depend on? For those who truly wants to get justice for Mohbad, justice lie in questioning the bullies and bringing them to book. That is where your justice is, not in any other thing you have been looking at for the past 18 or 19 months now. Where you can find justice for this boy that his soul will rest well is if you can ask these tough questions. Kí lọmọ yìí ṣe fún yín gangan tó fi deserve irú àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ṣe fún yín while he was alive? That is when you can get true justice for him. Anyway, we see that Omowumi has been insulted. She's been called names like serious ones. They brought different people out to come and say different things about her. Bóyá òótọ́ ni o, bóyá arọ́ ni o. But to what end? What is the point of all that? Póun ló bú, ṣé tún máa póun ló tún ń búlé ọkọ ẹ̀ ni òun ló tún ń lù àbí? Òun ni gbogbo wound tó wà lára yẹn, òun ló gba fóònù ẹ̀. Òun ni Mohbad fẹ́ sọ tó fi sọ pé Sam Larry àti Naira Marley ló gba fóònù òun. Ṣé nǹkan tẹ́ tún fẹ́ tán nìyẹn sí náà nìyẹn? But in the midst of all these things, in the face of all this opposition, even from family members, even from people who you think should stand, àti ìyá àti bàbá, people you think that tọ́jú ogun bá le, àwọn tó yẹ kéèyàn fẹ̀yìntì, they wọ́n sí ńbẹ̀. You can see that this girl is still standing. She didn't run, she didn't hide. She didn't try to control or change narrative. Ó ń fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ ní pé ẹ sọ, tẹ́ bá ní any evidence lọ́wọ́, ẹ gbé síta. She is not trying actively to control narrative bí àwọn people ṣe ń try láti ṣe, trying to change, trying to divert. All she wants ni pé ẹ ṣáà bá mi wá justice fún bọ̀bọ̀ yìí. One way or the other, this boy was bullied. Let me get justice for him. Ó cooperate pẹ̀lú authorities. Tó bá nídìí ẹ̀ ní any station ní òru olóru yàbá àárọ̀ tí wọ́n wà sí, I'm sure pé ó máa á dìde àná bá wọn bẹ̀ ní pé yá kílẹ̀ tún fẹ́ bèrè. He's cooperating well. You asked for DNA. She said, oh yeah, I got DNA. Oh yeah, lawyers, don't even fight them on this DNA. Let us just do it for them. Something that she gave up all her rights just to try and pay, just get us justice. But then, you call that murderer, you call that manipulator, you call that junkie, you call that different names. Why? Because kò gbowó lọ́wọ́ yín, right? Ẹ fowó lọ kò gbà lọ́wọ́ yín. Ẹ foríṣiríṣi nǹkan lọ kò gbà lọ́wọ́ yín. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tó ti mú kẹ́ lọ bẹ Naira Marley lẹ́yìn. Òun ò ṣetán láti tẹ̀lé yín lọ bẹ Naira Marley. Just to allow everything pé bóyá tẹ bá lọ bẹ Naira Marley, gbogbo ẹ̀ á end síbẹ̀. Kẹ́ lọ bẹ oppressor ọmọ yín, kẹ́ lọ bẹ oppressor ẹ̀gbọ́n àtàbúrò yín. Ah, ó ga o. Hey. Sometimes you feel you've seen everything. Tó bá tún ráwọn nǹkan míì, you will be èyí tún wà surprising pé eléyìí tún yìí wà. So, Wunmi is not the problem. It's not your problem, VDM. You're only targeting her because she is the last person defending Mohbad's truth. Because she is the last man standing that the death of this boy will not go in vain. She is the last one standing that all the cries, all the sacrifices he has made will not go unnoticed. That is why you have made her your number one target. Not because she's guilty of anything. So, guys, we need to wake up. They've tried to steal this thing from us. They've come with their noise. They've come with their stories. We cannot allow them to steal this narrative, to steal this truth from us. Mohbad was certainly bullied. Let the courts, let the authority prove us otherwise. Prove us that we're wrong. They said they have the evidence. Let them charge these people to court. Let them prosecute them. Let them have their day in court. Let them defend themselves in court. Let the court prove that no, they didn't know anything about it. Then, and only then, we should let it go. Because they bullied him. We have videos out there. And now they are trying to rewrite this history. Authorities should stop acting deaf. We're seeing different things going on about in the social media. But some authorities must have already know. One way or the other, they are hiding it. They are hiding some of these things. Trying to strong arm people. Ẹ pé wọ́n lọ fún cyberbully, ẹgbẹ́ wọn lọ fún kinní kan. In what setting ni chief bully máa tún lọ bá sọ pé òun competition against èèyàn kan pé èèyàn kan cyberbully òun? In what way lọ fi cyberbully ẹ̀? Naira Marley and Sam Larry, in what way have you guys been cyberbullied? Tell me. What has she said? Yóò sí òótọ́ nínú ẹ̀. Tell me what has she said? Yóò ṣe fair comment. There is nothing. You have nothing on Iyabo Ojo, Sam Larry and Naira Marley, and VDM tí òun náà bá join wọn. You have nothing on her. Kò sí nǹkan tó sọ. Yóò ṣe pé it's either it is truth, it's either it's a fair comment. So why are the authorities trying to hate these people? How much le need lọ́wọ́ public or the justice seeker láti fi lè really face the truth and leave gbogbo àwọn tó ń fún yín lówó lẹ́yìn yìí? You cannot keep watching this harassment. We've been crying out for how many months now about the harassment and the bullying of the innocent widow at Omoe. You did nothing. You did nothing. In fact, ọba bá yín gan, there was a time tó wá bá yín, bàbá ọkọ ẹ̀ ní kó máa charge ẹ̀, kó máa ṣe kinní kan, kó lọlé kó lọ settle ẹ̀. What rubbish. But then, it's only in Banana Republic like Nigeria, they don't go back to Mama Shele. So for me, Mohbad's dad and mom, you had one job. You were supposed to protect Mohbad's legacy. Instead, what are you guys doing? You're cashing out on the confusion. You're cashing out on the narrative. You're cashing out on the stories. History will not forget this. There is no way history will not forget. Oh, among me, if you're listening, people can see your strength. They respect your pain. And whether you see it or not, people are standing. People are standing. People are standing. We know where it is coming from. We know why they're doing this. They're trying to get her to backtrack. They're trying to get her to do some PR job for them. Láti lè wò bóyá àwọn sì lè rí glory díẹ̀ lò. But because she's somebody of strong conviction, no, no. Mo ò lè rí dúdú kí n pè ní funfun, mo ò lè rí funfun kí n pè ní dúdú. That if because of that, I have to suffer some persecution by you guys, by your cronies, by your paymasters, by people you have paid. So be it. And people are standing with her the same way they're standing with Omomi. So for me, I think I draw the curtain here. I've just had a lot on my mind for the past few days, and I thought I should just offload some of them so that I can have a good sleep. So thank you guys, and have a good night.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful one.